Pixcelation, and today I have with me Zeros to Heroes. How's it going?
Or at least one of them.
Hi. Yeah, I always wonder about, because you manage the Twitter account, right?
I manage the Twitter and Facebook account and the YouTube account. Basically, I am the face of Zeros to Heroes.
Yeah, I wondered. I was like, is it your brand or is it the group or is it, I was curious about that.
Yeah, basically it's the group, but I manage the entire thing until we can all get together in a house.
Right. So what I want to do today is, this is something I wanted to do back when I hit 200 subscribers.
That was me.
Okay. But I wanted to do this when I hit 200 subscribers, but when I tried, nobody gave me questions. So I want to do a Q&A. And basically what I did is, I tried to do it again, and I put it out on Twitter, I put it out on Facebook, in the groups that I'm in, and I also put it on the Pixcelation group and on the Pixcelation page for people to give me questions for that I would answer. And I figured, what we can do is I'll give my answer, and if it's a question that applies to both of us, we'll get your answer as well.
Yeah.
And if not, then
I'll just troll.
Yeah, you'll shitpost. You'll flow. The shitposting will flow out of your mouth. So, okay. So first question comes from Ray R from the Small YouTubers Boost group. Are you a member of that?
I don't think so.
You should. It's pretty good. I mean, I'm a part of a whole bunch of like YouTube building kind of groups, and a lot of them are flooded with stuff for sub requests. But usually they hammer those out pretty quickly, so that's pretty cool. But Ray R wants to know, what was your favorite vacation? Which is really cool, and I know why, because Ray R is I believe he's a travel blogger. So he asked this question of everybody, and so it's kind of like an obligatory thing. But I still would do it in there because I do have something to talk about. Back when it was before I was a senior in high school, I went out to Honolulu for 5 weeks. Yeah, I know. To visit my aunt and uncle and my cousin who were stationed there. My uncle was stationed there, and they were living with him. And that was like crazy to me because I had never really gone. I mean, that's as far out of the country as I've gone, and that's not even out of the country. That's still America, but it's offshore. It's off the mainland. So it was one of those things where I was like, wow, this is really cool, and it was really cool. Like the beaches there are really, really beautiful. Like there was one beach that I fondly remember, like grabbing a handful of sand, and then it just flows out of your hand. Like in Galveston, you grab a handful of sand and it's like clay and it just stays in your hand.
Yeah.
But like it was like picking.
It's actual real sand.
Yeah, it was actually like it just, and I was like, what is this? That was really fun. I want to go back, but I don't have a reason to go back yet. So it's kind of like, besides for like 2-week vacation or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was really fun. I didn't do much in actual Hawaii though. Like that's the thing about living on the Air Force base while I was there, is that it's Hawaii, but it's an Air Force base, so it's basically like American Hawaii.
You gotta get off.
Like you don't really get to experience Hawaii, unless you go off the base.
Yeah.
And that was one thing that I noticed in hindsight was that
gotta go deep in the jungle.
I mean, like there was little difference between hanging out on the base and then hanging out at home, because it's very similar in the atmosphere. What about you?
The one that I can remember the most fun having is back when I was, I want to say 7, maybe 8. This was years ago. We had our family, I do believe it was myself, my 2 younger sisters, Mom, Dad, Grandma, Aunt, and 2, maybe 3 cousins, all in an RV or 2 RVs, and just went road tripping around the country.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So like y'all just no destination in mind, y'all just went around?
I think we had a couple destinations in mind. We went to the Grand Canyon. Didn't go down in it. I can't remember what time of year it was, but went to the Grand Canyon. Went to the dinosaur. The dinosaur crater in Arizona as well. We might have just gone through Arizona. I think so.
All right. Well, yeah, I also remember there was a time, I don't really remember this as much though. It was when I was like 7. I went, me and my aunt and her friend, we packed. My dad was at the time was living in Pennsylvania, and we went and on a road trip to visit him up there. And but that trip is it's so far back in my head that I don't remember as much, but I know it happened. So
Yeah.
I think there was actually there was one thing in that trip that I really remember, and that was walking past the White House. I think we went to the White House and we like walked past it, and it was like really. I don't know if it was a real thing that happened or if it's just my imagination like making filling in the gaps, but I'm pretty sure I walked past the White House.
Well, I can tell you right now, in my own head, I actually did go into the White House.
Oh well, lucky you! Lucky you! That's cool. You know, one upping me in my own fucking video, Josh. Yeah.
That's how I do.
All right, next question. So this comes from the actual Pixcelation page. Jade Vidal wants to know, who was your waifu in Clannad? I'm so excited to answer this question because she insisted that, and I don't know, you've seen the series.
I've seen the first couple episodes of the actual first season. I don't care about spoilers because I will watch it eventually, but I'll leave.
Get the fuck out! I'm joking. How dare you? No, but seriously though, Jade insisted that it was Fuko, and I must vehemently, I can't say the right word, vehemently deny that claim. Nagisa is clear waifu. She is great. She's best. Forever and always. But, you know, maybe I'm just vanilla and I don't have good taste. I don't know.
Our trap's gay.
Next question. Fuck you. Next question is from Crystal Dennis from the Pixcelation official group, who asks, do you read light novels? If so, what would you recommend to a light novel noob who wants to start reading some? This is a hard question to answer because I kind of read light novels, but I haven't finished one yet. I'm in the process of, I'm in perpetual progress of watching or reading the Monogatari, the first Monogatari novel, which is in the backseat of my car, waiting for the day when I actually can finish it. And then I tried to read the Sword Art Online light novels, but that didn't work. I bought the first 5 issues of that series, and then I gave them away at Anime Austin. So, you know,
People actually wanted those.
Yeah. I gave all 5 of them away in one lot. It was like, hey, you win one, you win them all. But yes, in terms of recommendations, I would recommend
ReZero.
Yeah, ReZero.
Oh, and if you want to learn more and get ahead of the curve, I guess the No Game No Life series as well.
Oh yeah.
Honestly, I haven't read either of them. I don't know where I can find them.
Right. Well, and there's see, the thing about light novels that's really interesting is that a lot of them aren't readily available over here.
Yeah.
But there are companies like Yen Press and Seven Seas, I think, is doing some as well.
Isn't Crunchyroll doing some too?
Possibly. I know Tokyo Pop is coming back, but I think they're just doing manga. I'm not sure. But there are several companies who are doing the translations now, and that's really cool to me. Especially since I was told, I found out just by a simple Google search that you've got Toradора's light novels coming out, which I'm like so hyped for that. And then also A Sister's All You Need is getting the light novels as well.
Really?
So I'm really excited for that too, because I want to find out, because in the current anime community, you never can tell what's not going to get a season 2.
Yeah.
Like ReZero is probably never going to get a season 2.
Most likely, not anytime soon.
Yeah, I mean, it might be a couple of years, but okay, so anyway, back to recommendations. I would recommend you check out the Torador light novels, especially if you enjoyed the anime. I haven't read them, but like so keep in mind these recommendations are just because I enjoyed the anime, and I feel like if it's an adaptation, it's probably going to be good, if not better. So Torador is one of them. Sisters All You Need is another that's really deceiving but really good. ReZero, and that's one that's they have stuff coming out as well, even the manga and light novels. But yeah, I mean, really just. Also, I would recommend just pick up something that you see that you really just you're curious about. You know, like for example, I picked up a copy of a manga that I had heard about just in passing, called The Promised Neverland. And I never read anything. I mean, I literally just saw one promotional clip from Viz Media, and I was sold. You know, so whenever I went to buy it, and I haven't read the whole thing, but what I have read is really interesting. So that's another thing. Is there's so much out there that you can go to the bookstore, just find something that looks remotely interesting, and just give it a try. And it's not even a huge loss either, because a lot of these things are really cheap.
Yeah, Barnes & Noble, I do believe, has like hundreds of light novels and even manga.
For like $10 each, and it's $10 to $20 each, and it's like, so it's not a huge loss if you don't enjoy it, but you never know until you give it a try. Okay, so the next question comes from Tim Reichert from my Twitter, who asks, and this is also a question that comes from Chris Thurman. They both asked the same question, more or less, so I'm gonna give them both credit. What's the game with your favorite video game or favorite soundtrack, and why? It's this. it's this, guys. It's this. It's as if you don't all know that Dot Hack is my favorite game series of all time. And based on the 2 videos I have on my channel to have like over 1,000 views, where I literally flip my shit about how they were releasing this in the first place. But yes, this is my favorite game soundtrack of all time. And it's just because of the fact that it is, I can't remember the names of the individual people, but I do know that the collective that they go by is called Lien, it's like French for bonds or something like that. And it's so ethereal, and like, they use a lot of choral stuff, and I'm really bad at talking about music, if you can't tell. That's why I haven't done a lot of music reviews on this channel, because I'm so, like, unfamiliar with the terms and terminology and stuff that I don't do that. I basically, with music, I'm like, do I like it? Yeah, thumbs up! But yes, Leanne does amazing music for the Dot Hack series. If you have not played them, what are you doing with your life? 2, go listen to them on YouTube. They have there's almost the whole soundtrack on YouTube. Probably not there legally, but
who cares?
It's YouTube. Everyone's not there. Eventually, they're gonna start outlawing everybody. But I'm gonna put a copyright strike on you. Speaking of, I actually do have a copyright strike on my voice, so there's the next best thing.
Hey.
Yeah. So that. Yes, but that is my favorite soundtrack, and it just every time I hear anything from them, even if it's not from a game that I played when I was a kid, because I was listening to the Dot Hack Link soundtrack the other day, which is a game I haven't played. And I was still just totally enthralled because just their style is so consistent throughout. It's really cool. Okay, next question. Or actually, what would you have a question? Do you have an answer for that?
I honestly don't, because I don't have a specific.
You don't play games?
I mean, I play games, but I don't play them to listen to the soundtrack.
Oh.
Okay. I have a whole video on our Facebook page for music. Okay, so next up we got Landon Bell, who asks, "What are your thoughts on Myst?" And I don't have any. I don't know. I mean, I know Myst is a game series, but I've never played it. So. Okay, I was about to say. I mean, it's not outside, but I like it. It's, as long as it's not thick or heavy.
I like Myst as long as it's not right before I'm going into a palette, or right before I'm going into a dungeon in Persona 4. But anyway, no, I don't have any thoughts on that game, Landon, because I have never played it. Now that said, I don't hate it, or because I don't know it. So, that's that. But Landon has other questions. He left me a barrage of questions.
I can see.
What projects are you currently working on?
Projects.
That is a good question because I'm known for having my hands in so many different honeypots that it's not even funny. Right now, I have about 10 or 11 videos in progress. I have 2 episodes of James Plays Games that I'm done with, or not done, but like done writing. And I'm trying to get that recorded. Hopefully tomorrow I can get some of that recorded. And then I have like 10 Anime Ambush episodes that are just sitting in my Google Drive, just waiting for me to finish them. And then as far as as far as the channel goes, I would like to get some more work done on my novel series, which is perpetually in progress. It will never,
always on hiatus.
It will never finish because I'm never satisfied, but one day it will. And
one day in 2080.
Yes, one day, the day before I kick the bucket, the first novel will be done.
Then everyone will be wondering, when is the next one coming out?
And then they'll have a ghostwriter who's like, taking over for me or something. I don't know. But yes, those are my projects that I'm currently working on. Of course, there's always something in the back of my mind. I have a hard time not being creative. And I know that sounds super pretentious, but that's just how it is. I have a hard time not working on things. So when I'm being lazy, like, I'm totally cool with being lazy. But I need to keep myself busy, so when I'm being lazy, I just put on the game, and I just bury myself in that and pretend that I don't have anything to work on.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's all I can talk about right now, because it's the only things that are real solidified yet. But, then he asks, what's your favorite video game? This.
Again, have you not seen .hack?
Yes, go buy it. We need to show them we were there so they can go make remake the other ones. I don't want this to be the one and done. Yes, that is my favorite video game. Second is probably the Danganronpa series, but even then, Danganronpa V3 destroyed it for me, so most likely I'm going to move that down the list a little bit, but I haven't thought about it yet because I don't play enough games. I mean, if the fact that I haven't had a James Plays Games episode since September is any indication, I don't play enough games. I've been watching too much friggin' anime. Speaking of anime, wonderful segue into that because Landon also wants to know favorite anime. Clannad.
That was kind of obvious.
Oh yeah, I mean I have my top 10 pretty much locked in. I have Clannad is my top spot. Toradora is number 2. Golden Times number 3. I believe the Monogatari series is number 4. Number 5 is I think A Sister's All You Need, which is crazy because that's a newer one and I have a hard time putting new stuff in the top 10, but that was worth it. 6 is Durarara, I think. 7 I think was Plastic Memories. 8 was. See, I could just look this up, but I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. Number 8 was
Death Note.
No. I'm one of the few who I enjoy Death Note, but I think everybody else is making it seem like way more than it really is. Like I was thinking about it, and I'm just like, I was watching PewDiePie review the Death Note live action movie, right?
Oh god.
And he's just like he's sucking Death Note sticks so hard, and it's like, dude, yes, it was a good anime, but it was also super fucking dumb and campy and shit. Like, you can't sit here and say it's this masterful.
I'll take this potato chip.
Yeah.
And eat it.
Like, there's so much wrong with it that it's like, it's okay to like it, but don't give it more credit than it deserves because it is a campy, cat and mouse chase. It's basically campy Tom and Jerry with death.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like,
yeah.
It's a good anime. Don't get me wrong. It's just not the best, and it's like, just take from that what you will, because I used to see people in regards to the live action movie, how dare they ruin the perfect
The movie was better than the anime.
Wait, really?
I thought it was.
mean, I wouldn't go that far.
It was a bit of a stretch, but it is.
I mean, I don't know. I don't remember the time the anime had air supply in the background, but whatever. Anyway, next question from Desmond Childs from the next crew. He wants to know, what aspect of Japanese animation do you find the most compelling when it comes to storytelling? I think it's a lot of things. I think it's the music is one of those things, because I've noticed in the past decade of or so. I used to wonder why you would never hear popular music that sounds anything like Japanese music over here. And it's just a different style of music, but like, I always really enjoyed like the difference in instruments that they use, and just the difference in the arrangements that they use, and especially when they use it in anime, even though I can't understand half the stuff they're saying, it's still catchy as fuck, because it's just, and that's why I love it, is it's just catchy and it's easy to listen to,
Yeah. Sometimes music can make or break a show. Yeah.
And especially since, like I'm going to use this example, like a show like Planet. Like the music is so strong that and I mentioned this in my videos on the series, is that, I could listen to any of the tracks and basically pinpoint like scenes where that song played, because it was so memorable, and such a memorable score. But yeah, that's one aspect of the animation. I think that the basic storytelling is also a really, really appealing thing to me, because you don't really see a lot of those kind of stories. Shows like Junie Tyson, for example, or like you see a lot of those over here because you have like the Hunger Games and stuff like that, and like the Belko Experiment. But like, there's a lot of stories that you don't see a lot of, and it also helps that I really respect the traditions that they have.
Yeah.
And a lot of that's injected into the storytelling as well.
Your Name, for example.
Yeah, Your Name, for example. Yeah, that's actually a really good example, because you see a lot in Your Name that we can't personally relate to as Americans, because we don't have the Shinto, shrines and stuff over here, and the traditions that they use. But yet we can still agree that it's a fantastic film that is emotional as fuck, because just because you can kind of bridge the gap. You can bridge the gap in your memory or in your mind. You may not be able to relate personally with what they're doing, but you can kind of imagine. It's like a suspension of disbelief.
That's the difference between a hardcore otaku and a hardcore weeb.
Oh yeah.
The weebs don't care about Japanese culture. They just want to be, and they love anime.
Yeah.
Otakus care about the culture. Care about more than just the anime. They like the Japanese culture as well.
Yeah, like I may not believe in the Shinto religion or the Buddhist religion, but I can still respect it to the point where, like, I would go to a shrine if I went to Japan, and I would just take it all in, because it's just the atmosphere of it is really cool, and I just like it. Next question. What anime shows could you argue that the hero was the villain, and the villain may have been onto something special? And this also comes from Desmond Childs from the next crew. I mean, Death Note is the thing that comes to mind, because the hero was the villain, and the villain was L, so it's like, I personally kind of wished L would have made it. But
you can also say that, I guess, towards Assassination Classroom, where the villain, Koro Sensei, was actually a hero.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Another one is Code Geass. Like the hero who we follow is actually the guy who ends up destroying the world, and then there's a bunch of villains that also are the good guys in the end. So it's like, okay.
The best villain story. The best villains in history are the ones who think they are the heroes.
Yeah. The
Dr. Doom.
Hey, see, actually,
he's a quote unquote villain, but yeah, he always does things for the betterment of humanity.
It's so interesting to me that someone who calls himself Dr. Doom is like, I am the good guy. It's like, your name is Dr. Doom. No, you're fucking not. Okay, next question. This is also from Desmond. What genre of anime have you never really enjoyed watching, and why? Oh. Otome? Otome, Boys Love?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I've seen an Otome series. I've seen Code Realize, which I didn't mind so much, but I think that it suffered from the whole visual novel adaptation syndrome, where they try to stuff a 50-hour game into a 12-episode series, and it doesn't work.
Yeah, I honestly don't care for Yuri type or yaoi type anime.
I love Yuri Bait.
I love Yuri. Citrus. Yes.
I haven't seen Citrus yet, but
really,
I haven't watched hardly anything. Pop Team Epic is the only thing I've seen really.
Dude, Citrus.
I watched the first episode of Place Farther Than the Universe, but that was it. No, but yeah, Yuri Bait, Konohana Kitan. I know this is not the question, but you know.
Last year's Crunchyroll Yuri on Ice Awards.
Oh yeah, that was a shit show. But it's not getting any better this year either. But anyway, last question of the day. Last question of the day comes again from Desmond, who wants to know, if you could make an anime series, what would your story be about? That's actually very simple. I would immediately create an anime based on my novel series, and I would hopefully have it animated by Studio Shaft, because they are my favorite. They're my favorite studio, and I love them dearly. Now I can't exactly comment on the plot because obvious reasons. But Josh, what about you?
So you know Misty / Connection.
Yes.
You know of his anime, his quote unquote.
Misty and the Seven Seals.
Misty and the Seven Seals. No offense to Misty if he ever watches this, which he never will.
Probably not.
No offense to the show, which I thought the second episode was a better step in the right direction. At least I think he put out the second episode. I can't remember. I would take the... I've played this in my head for thousands of times. I would take his theme song that was done by Static P and make a better anime, a better story with that, based on that intro, based on the intro, which is phenomenal. And make it better than ReZero.
That's a tall order.
Maybe.
That's a tall order. I mean, I'm sure you could do it, but that's still a tall order. That's not exactly easy to do, because ReZero is fucking good.
It is.
But anyway, so that's my Q&A, guys, and I had to thank you, Josh, for sitting in and offering his 2 cents on the questions.
So when do I get paid?
No, you're not gonna get paid.
Like all bullshit. I'm suing.
Okay. Anyway, I would like to do more of these kind of things, these Q&A type videos. I kind of got inspired to do a series like this, kind of like Answer Me Senpai or
yeah.
Those are really cool, and I want to do more of those, but I needed more.
Yeah, I tried to start something like that a couple of times, but no one ever answered.
You gotta have a huge, constantly active fan base in order to do those. So for now, I'm not gonna try to do too many of these, but like I figure
maybe once a month or something.
I figure what I'll probably do is I'll do one every time I hit I did one at 100 subscribers. This is at 200, and now every 100 subscribers I'll do one of these, because I feel like there's enough time in between each 100 that I will there's new things that will happen in my life that I could answer questions based on that. But yeah, so thank you all for watching. Go ahead and subscribe to this video. Check out Zeros to Heroes. I will put a link in the description for that, for those assholes. And then I will also, I don't know where I was going.
Brain fart.
Yeah, brain fart.
Like the video.
Yeah, like the video, subscribe to the channel, share with your friends if you think that they will enjoy 2 grown men talking about anime and shit on the couch. Yeah, so until next time, this has been James Herd or Pixcelation reminding you to stay pixelated.
Also, give him an applause for actually doing this on the fly. You need to do more of this like that. That was when my teacher went, a round of applause.
A literal round of applause. Okay, anyway, thank you all for watching. I'll see y'all next time.